my name is Maddie and welcome to a completely new video. Today we're going to discuss the price of Bitcoin based on technical analysis, but before we dive deeper into that, we're first going to look at the coin market cap. On CoinMarketCap, we're looking at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, not because of the market cap, but we're going to look at the price chart so we can see the overview of the last 7 days, which is always interesting to see the difference between altcoins and Bitcoin. So for now, over the last couple of 7 days, we're seeing that the price is going down from the upward position to more down for all of the top 10 cryptos. So there's nothing really special going on, to be honest. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We rather stayed in Ether or Ripple XRP, but the decline of Bitcoin isn't that much today, so it's actually doing quite well, even though it's going down still. But we really have to take a look at the overview of the last 7 days, 24 hours and 1 hour, because I really want to know when there's a price movement incoming. And for now, we're still seeing that the last 7 days, the price has going down quite fast. We're seeing that Bitcoin went down a lot, but the alts did a lot worse. And especially over the last 24 hours, prices are going down, even though the news about Fidelity. Fidelity finally got their license for their trading platform, so that's quite interesting, but it didn't do much with the price. The price even went down more over the last 24 hours or so, nah. I'm not really feeling that news, and especially the last hour, there's nothing much interesting going on, even though we see Bitcoin going up a bit, and we dive deeper into that. Let's take a look at TradingView. So for those of you guys who are new to my channel, I would like to explain really shortly what you're seeing over here. Since I've been using the chart of Bitstamp, because it's really easy to look at volume, I'm also using the Heikin Ashi candles, and the Heikin Ashi candles work pretty well. I've been using them for over like 5 years or so, and they're doing pretty great on bullish and bearish diversions, and I'm going to show you because if you use the normal candles, you see that these are quite different and they give you a lot more signals than you need to. So this is going quite well for me. You can always use the normal candles if you want to, but also the price movements are more clear when you use the Heikin Ashi candle, so I just like to prefer that. It's really easy to see patterns this way, and I'm a pattern trader, so that's quite nice. Okay, so today we're looking at the candles of the day, so which means that every block is one candle. Every block is 1 day, I mean. So we're seeing that the price of Bitcoin went up since April or so, even earlier, but we broke out on early April, the 3rd of April, I think, the 2nd of April. And then from the end of June, we went in this downward trend. And even though we broke out on this stage, and even though the volume was quite high, we went down, and I must say that the price is doing like really interesting since late October, early November. It's doing strange things, and I will dive deeper into that later on. But usually when the price breaks out of a channel, we see a lot of volume. But on this chart, we see that the price didn't broke out of the downward channel. We just saw this falling wedge, and usually a falling wedge turn out to break out upwards when the trend comes from here, from the downward position. But on this point of view, we saw that we went in a downward trend that wasn't going that fast. So we're still in this downward trend, and we're seeing that there are some patterns evolving, so we must have to take a look at the 4-hour chart. So, okay, the 4-hour chart is looking interesting. Here we saw some resistance that later on came support after this move upwards from like 40% in like 24 hours or so. But as you can see, we had resistance on this parallel line. And from that point on, we formed a symmetrical triangle, which usually breaks out upward in 52% of the breakouts, but in this case it didn't break out upward. So this means that you don't, that you, I'd rather don't like to anticipate on patterns before I see a confirmation. So just wait for the confirmation. This is not financial advice, but if you want to take this serious, always wait for the confirmation. So here we saw that the confirmation that the confirmation was given to us because the price broke down, and this happened on high volume. So usually a breakout happens on high volume. We always have to wait for that, or at least I always wait for that. Sometimes you're a bit late, but yeah, rather later than sorry. So from that point on, we saw some bullish divergence, and here we had resistance again on this point. And now, or at least last week, we went into this falling wedge, and there was big news going on about this falling wedge. A lot of traders were talking about this, and usually when there's a falling wedge, it's a signal that this is a continuation pattern. So usually the trend comes from here and then goes down and then goes upward again. The same as what I showed you on the daily. The trend comes from here, goes down and then goes upward again because it's a continuation pattern. But in this phase we saw that the price wasn't like moving at all. There was no volume at some stages. The candles were really small, and especially when the candles are small, it usually there's not much, like, people don't know what to do. And I just wrote an article on one of the biggest traders on BitMex. He is sitting short and long at the moment, so even he doesn't know what to do at this time. And I must say, these movements are really strange. We're now hanging at this point, and this is like not really a strong resistance or support on, yeah, I think it's a support right now, yeah. So this is like far from a strong support at this moment, but we really have to break out before earlier than like 24th of November or so. We have to break out earlier because when you see that the Heikin-Ashi candles are really small, there's a breakout incoming, and usually it doesn't take, here you can see it here, it doesn't take long for the breakout to happen. So let's take a look at the parallel line of this one. I usually like to Control C, Control V this, so we have the same, something like this. I think this is better. Yeah, something like this. Okay, I'm going to Control C, Control V, Command C, Command V. It is on Mac. Oh, oops. Here, really struggling. So here you see that we're in a quite small downtrend at this moment. So we can remove, sorry. So we can remove this, and from now on we just have to wait and see what's coming up next. I'm going to draw this a bit further, and this one as well. So here you see that we can move upward until this point. It's like 8,230, but this is a really strong resistance point because it has 1, 2, 3 resistance sitting on this point. So probably if the price goes up, it will fail over here, even though because the volume is really low. We have to see high volume for the price to break out of this point. So for now we're sitting at 8,100 or so, and there's a good possibility that we're going back to like 7,880. And since we've been here at this point since the beginning of October, I've been looking at this big blue one, and I've mentioned it in my Dutch videos a couple of times. This blue line is really important because we're probably going to stamp the bottom of Bitcoin, and this is probably, yeah, maybe the double bottom to like go upward again, but I must say I'm not really sure at this moment because of the low volume, but I'm really excited for this point. I must say, when we're reaching this point, I really hope that we're going to like, yeah, fire back upward, just like the last time, just like we did the last time. But for now, we just have to wait and see if we're going to break this line. Just move your stop loss, move your next entry again, and wait for the next big move. Probably it's not a big move until we reach this point, but for now, just wait and see. I can make much more of this video because technical analysis is not some kind of thing that you can like use to look at what's going on in the future, or yeah, some people think that we can use it as a prediction, some kind of thing, but technical analysis is not to predict the future. It's just to have a scenario A and a scenario B, and to be able to play your game as well as you can. You know that the asset is good based on fundamental analysis, and on technical analysis you plan your entry and exit points. Easy as that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Make sure to comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions or recommendations, and I hope to see you next week. No, on Friday. I'm going to upload a new video on Friday again, so I hope to see you then, and otherwise I might see you on my Dutch channel on Monday, and otherwise I see you next week again. Don't forget to press the subscribe button down below. It's probably here down below, and click on the bell so you get notified when there's a new video online. And I'll see you next week, and don't forget to put a thumbs up. See you then, guys.